Hi there, a big welcome and thank you for choosing Mystical Mayhem Tarot Lessons. My name is Sarah, I'm Sarah Shepherd, and Mystical Mayhem is my baby. I learned to read cards 20 odd years ago. What actually happened was I used to have a lot of readings, probably like a lot of you did, and one day I came out and was really disappointed, dissatisfied with my reading. I turned to my friend and I said, I'm sure I could do that better than that. And she said, well, yeah, go do it. And that was the beginning of the end. A lot of divine intervention, and I found a tarot course that teaches pretty much how I'm going to teach you, that taught me pretty much how I'm going to teach you. And the rest is history. I've met some of my greatest friends along my travels with tarot, and life wouldn't be the same without it. I'm going to read you some of my introduction. A lot of that has been said in there. How are we going to learn? There is an 8-week course available. Today's just the introduction. As you may or may not be aware, there are 78 cards within a tarot deck. The major arcana is the first 22 cards, and within their title gives the clue away, major. When these cards turn up in your reading, they're pretty big things that are going to happen. There's also 56 cards which are very similar to a playing card deck called the minor arcana, and they kind of define the things that are happening. They break things down. How I'm going to teach you is 1 week we will do the majors, 1 week we will do one suit, 1 to 10, until we've done all 4 suits, 1 per week, and on the final week we will do the court cards. Okay, the final week there is a big spread we're going to take, but week 7 will be your court cards. I'm very, very strict because I have face-to-face students too, and I would not want you to use the whole deck until you have learnt it. So every week we're going to be adding a little bit more into your deck, okay, and give you a little bit more clarity. How does that sound? I find that the easiest way to learn. Okay, we'll send you that part. I've got a little bit of a disclaimer to read to you because unfortunately we have to have rules. First disclaimer. The definitions of the cards used within this course are ones that I often use and are open to discussion and often differ to others. They are designed to be simplistic so that you become confident with them quite quickly. Okay, so you're more than welcome to go and read another book. You're more than welcome to question my meanings. You're more than welcome to go through Google, whatever way you see fit. But I'm just going to give you 3 words per card so that you've got a rough idea of what is going on and you can perform a reading. Believe it or not, at the end of today, you will be able to form a reading. Number 2. Any learning material you receive is copywritten and intended for paying students only. Please don't share it with anybody else. It's taken a lot of hard work and sweat, blood, tears, not for you just to make it public and for you to share around. I really would appreciate that. 3, and finally quite important to me, any complaints must be brought to myself immediately so they can be resolved quickly. I don't want to be reading cryptic statuses on Facebook or suddenly you don't attend or you disappear. Any problems, nothing can't be resolved. Please let me know. I don't want to be finding out third hand. So that's something I really that's really important to me. Okay, how these lessons will run. What you're going to receive every week is a handout, practically a paperwork full of information in your inbox, as well as one of these videos. You need to get used to my face, I'm so sorry, but I find that personal interaction is a lot better and a lot easier. Okay, what we're going to do, I will deliver this on a Monday. You'll be given a lesson, but you will also be given a task. And that task must be completed by Friday. They're quite simple. It will be readings or journaling or a question or some research, okay? But that's just so that I know that you're understanding what I'm telling you. And that gives me the weekend to tweak it a little bit and let you know. My name is out there. I want you to be able to go out and say, I learned at Mystical Mayhem. I don't want anybody to say, oh God, they don't know what they're doing. I'm not the kind of tutor just to throw everything at you and leave to it. I'm here all week long. If you have any problems, any questions, I'm not just going to throw you out into the world. How does that sound? Okay, so let's begin. Most important part of beginning is learning how to ground yourself. Now, you may be spiritual and you may be empathic and you may know how to ground yourself. If you do already, then I make no apologies. It doesn't hurt to be reminded every once in a while. Okay? If you may not know you're spiritual yet, but when you start reading cards, often spirit will come in and it's a good idea to have yourself protected before that happens. I'm going to talk you through a grounding, okay? First you need to sit. It's all visionary, it's all imagination. And I know that's sometimes very hard to come to terms with. It was for me, that you're picturing this and you're picturing that, but trust me, it becomes second nature. Okay? First, you imagine roots coming from the bottom of your feet and join the roots present within the ground. See them becoming entwined and you're attached firmly to the ground. Next, you're going to picture a white light coming up through your body and out of the top of your head. Now, I look on it like a firework or a fountain of light. So it's coming up out of my head and then it makes like a dome. It spreads out like the top of a fountain. These, in my imagination, fall to the ground and they fit me in a bubble. It's come out of the ground and it's gone back in and I'm sitting inside of this bubble, nice and protected. And that is the way that I ground myself. There probably are other methods, but that's what I use. If you want to look into other methods, that's entirely up to you. I also carry crystals, and the most important ones, if you've seen me, you'll see I've got a pile of crystals with me when I'm reading. Obsidian, rose quartz and amethyst I carry at all times. I've got other little babies that come with me, but they're the important ones. Okay? Next is looking after your cards. Now, if you've bought a kit from me, the starter kit, they'll come with a little velvet pack and that's what you'll keep your cards and your crystals in. Okay? It would be a good time now to mention that you will need a deck of cards. I tend to use the Rider-Waite cards. The most recognised ones, trust me to pick the devil, the most recognised ones universally. You can read whatever ones you like, but my course is kind of designed around those to make it easier to follow. It's up to you whether you purchase your cards or go and get your own ones, okay? Or if you have your own ones already. To look after them, it's a good practice to cleanse your cards, okay? Many people shuffle your cards. I've sat at fields and read 15 people in a row that in between, I perform a little ritual. Otherwise, my readings will get muddled up. Your reading will be from you and you and you and you and mine. You don't want my troubles. So what I do as a ritual is I will put my cards into piles of 9, pick them up randomly, and I feel like that has broken the energy of the person before. Again, it takes a lot to get your head around the ritual side of things, but that's what I do. Okay. What I normally do, full moons and new moons are my babies. If you follow me on Facebook, you know I love a moon. I tend to leave my cards out in the moonlight to be cleansed. Now, I know the weather's not always great, it could be pouring down with rain. Stick them on the windowsill, so long as they can see a moon, that's all you need. Another way of doing it is to sprinkle with salt. I like my Himalayan salt, and I've also got a black salt, which is fantastic for protection. And another way is to smudge with sage. If you're unaware of what this means, it's dried sage stick, and it's like an incense. So you'll light the end and then you'll let it out and use the smoke and you just waft it all over your cards. Right. I also recommend taking your moon card out of your deck and put it under your pillow. That, at the time when I started doing this years ago, opened my mind to craziness. I could see things, hear things. I knew what cards meant, intuition, and I recommend that to anybody. So what are we going to do today? Let's do our first reading. Let's get to know our cards. What I want you to do is to take your deck, okay, maybe give them a little shuffle, and then without really thinking about it, working on intuition, put them in 2 piles of ones you like and ones you don't. So yeah, we probably like him. And him. Let's find one we don't. So I can give you an example. Here we go. Not so keen on that one. So we stick that in the no pile. Okay, just by the looks of them. We don't know what they mean. We don't know if we're right or wrong. We just know, like you would on a person, and first impressions, like you, not sure on you. Okay, you're going to do that with your cards. And you know what you've done? You've formed a relationship. They know whether you like them. They know whether you don't like them. You've bonded. Okay, and this is a relationship that's going to last you a lifetime. I've never been lonely with them when I've had my cards. They came to my wedding, they came to the birth of my children, they've been on all my holidays. I'm never without them. They're a friend. Call me daft, but that's how my life has worked, and I hope it works for you too. A little pointer when we're learning is you get what you put in. If you persevere and you practice and you journal, you get it back. I can only give you the tools. It's up to you how you use them and how often and how much you practice. But I think you may become a little bit addicted, like every one of my students. Okay, so the task for this week, I'm going to teach you a reading. I promised you you'd be able to read by the end of today. It is called the yes-no reading. Okay? So what's actually happening is you're going to ask your cards a question. So, for example, I might say, my name's Sarah. And I'll ask that question over and over again. Is my name Sarah? Is my name Sarah? Okay? You can ask that in your head because you may not want people to know what you're asking, or you may be somewhere where you can't be vocal. So you could be asking it over and over in your head. Then you're going to deal 3 rows of 3. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I don't know if you can see my cards. There you go.